Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting. Today is December 17th. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Here.
Councilmember Cavallo.
Here.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember
Here.
Holland.
Present.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Present.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Present.
Council Chair Pozo.
Here.
All present.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Chair, next item on page 2 are the minutes of the following meetings of the council: the November 26, 2025 council meeting and the December 3rd, 2025 council meeting.
Move to approve. Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item for receipt on the consent calendar C2025-253 and on page 3 C2025-254.
Move to receive. Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
This item is communication C2025-255, communication from the Director of Finance requesting council approval to apply for, receive, and expend state and local cybersecurity grant program funds in the amount of $389,500 from the United States Department of Homeland Security via the State of Hawaii Office of Homeland Security to support efforts to enhance cybersecurity capabilities, implementing a modern cloud-native network access control platform to protect the county's infrastructure from unauthorized or insecure device access.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-256, communication from Mike Ozaki, Deputy Chief of Police, requesting council approval of the indemnification clause included in the Verit Terms of Use and Services, supporting internal affairs, professional standards, and intelligence functions critical to public safety operations, granting a limited license to use these services and outlining responsibilities related to system access, data handling, and legal protections, ensuring the Kauai Police Department can use the software securely and in compliance with applicable laws.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public? Do you have a question?
I just have a process question.
Okay.
This is indemnification, so that means that we're holding somebody not liable, right? I mean, the indemnification. I was really trying to look at the document on this, and I didn't see it, so I have requested a meeting on it. I just want to understand a little bit more about that, but it would be appropriate to do that in a private session, right? Because this is a lot.
I mean, it's actually on the memo. So if you want, I can have someone come up and explain it. But
Okay.
it is legalese.
Well, I looked at it. I mean, this. I just really want to know. I sent an email, but I think it went too late. I just really want to know what exactly this does. Just because I just keep getting a lot of community concern from specific individuals about surveillance technology.
Yeah, and basically, we take on the liability.
This is just about the liability
Correct.
for that. So, okay, at a later time, I'd like to have a meeting just to understand what exactly it does.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other questions for the admin? Any public testimony? Seeing none, the motion is to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Chair, on page 4, C2025-257, communication from Councilmember Cowden, transmitting for council consideration a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to uses in districts to create new definitions for employee dormitory and group housing dormitory, respectively, update the use table in Section 8-2.4, and outline 2 new sections describing application requirements that are customized to these new dormitory types.
Move to receive.
Second.
This is the communication that is connected to the bill, which will come up later. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to testify? I'll take testimony at this time. Seeing none, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is to receive. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
C2025-258, communication from Makana Rivera, Assistant Chief of Police Support Services Bureau, requesting council approval of the indemnification provision in the SAMSRA VG 55 terms of service for vehicle getaways, which were selected by the Kauai Police Department due to their compatibility with FirstNet and their robust telematics platform, meeting the need for real-time vehicle data and fleet analytics, which are critical to improving operational efficiency, safety, and compliance.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item are claims. C2025-259, communication from the county clerk transmitting a claim filed against the county of Kauai by Pu'uloa Tevis for personal injuries and medical bills pursuant to section 23.06 Charter of the County of Kauai. And C2025-260, communication from the county clerk transmitting a claim filed against the county of Kauai by J.D. Hansen for vehicle damage pursuant to section 23.06 Charter of the County of Kauai.
Move to refer to the county attorney for disposition and report back as necessary.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item are your committee reports from your Public Safety and Human Services Committee, CRPSHS 2025-04.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
On page 5 from your Committee on Finance and Economic Development, CRFED 2025-23.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, please.
Next item are resolutions. Resolution number 2025-45, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Building Board of Appeals for Francis Ka'ava at large.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-46, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Building Board of Appeals for Jason Ornelas, Fire Safety.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-47, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Ethics for Rose Ramos Benzel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Move. Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-48, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Ethics for Amber Mokuahi.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah. Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-49, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Ethics for Kevin McGinnis.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-50, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Review for Christopher White.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-51, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Review for Graham Odenheimer.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-52, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Board of Water Supply for Micah Fanilla.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
On page 6, resolution number 2025-53, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Charter Review Commission for Bronson Bautista.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-54, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Charter Review Commission for Jan Timbruggen.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-55, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Civil Service Commission for Robert Kroll.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-56, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Civil Service Commission for Beverly Gotelli.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-57, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Cost Control Commission for Stacy Waikoloa.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item.
Resolution number 2025-58, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Liquor Control Commission for Gerald Bailey.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-59, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Liquor Control Commission for Chad Pacheco.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-60, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Liquor Control Commission for Leland Kahavai.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-61, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Fire Commission for Trevor Ford.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Fire Commission for Gary Pacheco.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. I'm
Aye.
sorry, roll call.
Councilmember Bulasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i.
Aye.
Council Chair Reposo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Resolution number 2025-63, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Police Commission for John Kauma.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have discussion.
Councilmember Carter.
I appreciate all our volunteers that we have for the different commissions and boards. I go to many. I have missed 4 police commission meetings out of 7 years because it is so important. Our police department is under so much pressure, probably more than any other department in our county, constantly, literally in the difficult position, and we've had a lot of turnover, a lot of loss, and many really important discussions that have been there. And I will say that I think this particular commissioner doesn't have the stamina for the position. He's half asleep, barely awake, go in and out of sleep when we're doing it, and I have expressed that concern, and there is other commission potential people that I think have experienced in a lot stronger vitality. I've brought that forward too, and so I said this ahead of this meeting too, so I would like to move to defer on this particular one because it's really important that somebody is awake and able to really engage, especially if they are a decisive voter, which has happened. So I want to respect all our volunteers, but this one I really think we need to reconsider this, and so I would like to move to defer.
There is a motion to defer.
If we have a second, there'll be no.
If there's no discussion with the motion, we need a second. If there's no second, then the motion fails.
Before we do that, Chair, can
No,
I ask a question?
We got to address the motion. The motion is to defer. She needs to get a second.
I'll second it then.
You second the motion to defer?
Yes. Well, no, because I
That
know
will end all discussion.
Oh, okay, so can I retract my motion? I'll pull it back so that we can discuss.
Okay.
Can I ask a question of the? We have.
Sure. I'll suspend the rules.
Other.
Ellen?
Morning, Ellen Cheng, Boards and Commission Administrator. Before I address any questions, I just want to wish everyone happy holidays and a very happy new year.
Same to you. Thank you. Mr. Kohli?
So unfortunately, I have not attended any police commission meetings. I'm assuming sometimes you do. I don't know if you always do.
I always attend I have attended every police commission meeting since I've been appointed.
Yes. So Councilmember Cowden has expressed the concern of a particular commissioner potentially sleeping during meetings. Is there any, have you observed that in any way?
I will say that Councilmember Cowden has expressed that concern. My disappointment is that when she discussed it with me, she made a statement that this commissioner was sleeping through the meetings. And from where I sit, which is closer, that was not my observation. I did take her concern under consideration and talked to other members, staff members, and other commissioners that are sitting right next to this individual. And they confirmed what my observation was, that yes, he closes his eyes during the meetings. However, when he hears something of importance, he will take notes. He is awake, he is participatory, and he's very active in the meetings. He does not speak a lot, but when he does have something to say, it's of importance and it's material. And so I feel quite frankly, very disappointed.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, Chair.
Councilor Carter?
I have multiple pictures and it's a routine process.
Questions?
Okay, so, I sent an email over, an inquiry over. Why did you choose not to respond?
You sent,
Through
you sent
staff.
an email.
I sent it through staff expressing this concern ahead of time, so I didn't get a response.
So my recollection and my observation is that the email was not addressed to me.
Okay, I had to do it the way our protocol goes, because I can't address it directly to you, so I sent it over. Did
With
you
all
get
due
it? Did you
respect,
receive it?
in the past, when you've asked for my response or information, you have addressed that through your protocol, and it has come to me with a request for information. That is not what I received.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will just conclude by saying
Okay,
it's evident.
thank you. Thank you. Any more questions? No?
I would like to make a statement. At best, I really see this as, is the glass half empty or the glass half full? It's perception. And to perceive something and not to really look at whether it is true or not and present that as a fact versus an allegation, to me that is a really serious assertion, and it's unfair and it's disappointing at best.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? If not, I'll call a meeting back to order. The motion is to approve. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan,
No.
What was that? What?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what is the motion before us?
The motion is to approve.
Oh, the motion is to approve. Okay.
Councilmember Carvalho, Councilmember Cowden,
No.
Councilmember Holland,
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro,
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i,
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-2.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is resolution number 2025-64, resolution confirming mayoral reappointment to the Salary Commission for Bernadette Akiona.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or public testimony? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan,
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho,
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden,
Aye.
Councilmember Holland,
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro,
Aye.
Councilmember Kuli'i,
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Next item.
On page 7, resolution number 2025-65, resolution in support of restoring the eligibility to receive full pension benefits after 25 years of service, regardless of age, for police officers and firefighters.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Let me just, before we open up the floor, I just wanted to share why I introduced this resolution. And unfortunately, I was hoping to get this in front of our State Association of Counties package, but I just did not have enough time to put something together. But my hope is that we will pass this today here on Kauai and then share it with the other 3 counties, and they can get on board and at least have show the legislature that is a statewide effort. What this relates to is prior to 2012, police officers police officers here in Hawaii were eligible for a special retirement program, which was really 25 years of service at any age could retire with the full benefit. And that was an amazing tool for recruiting and retention. You could get someone that came out of high school or college, enter into this profession, and after 25 years retire and either stay in or maybe start another profession, another career. It's an incredible opportunity, and it worked really, really well. I don't think many of us remember back before 2012 where we had issues of recruiting and retention, right? Remember, there were lines and people were denied seats or seats in the recruit class because we had more candidates than people. than positions. But in July 2012, the legislature changed that and required now police officers, firefighters, and I believe corrections officers, they had to work a minimum 25 years and be 55 years of age, which means that, if they came in before 30, they would not be able to retire with 25 years. And a retirement age of 60 if they wanted to retire with 10 years of service. I don't need to convince anybody that across this state and in many places in the mainland as well, but the recruiting and retention of police officers is getting very difficult. It is. And, we spend a lot of money on recruiting campaigns, marketing. We hire firms now. We do videos. We do all of those things, and they help. But they're not doing the job that needs to be done, which is to fill our vacancies. And again, Oahu is they're looking at some serious issues. We have serious shortages here as well. So this resolution just asks our legislature to reconsider Act 163 and return back to that 25-year retirement system so that our police officers can retire. Then the marketing campaign in the videos will work because you will now be informing people of the benefits of joining the police department or the fire department. So that's what this is. I'm not going to read the resolution. The statistics are in here about the shortages. And again, I don't have to convince anybody that we have a shortage and we have an issue with recruiting and retention. So that is what this resolution is about. And if there's any questions of the members, I'll ask. Go ahead.
So, thank you. I am going to agree, and again, I'm attending pretty much all the commission meetings for police commission. We see early rollover. We see management rollover, upper management rollover. I'm sure a number before they're of age of retirement, or they hold their age really well. So it is a problem. I will absolutely acknowledge that. I think we have less of a problem in fire. Of course, I want to take care of the fire too. Have you spoken, Chair, with, I imagine the concern is if somebody gets an extra, 15 years of retirement, it's very expensive. Is that the reason why it was changed?
I believe that's why the legislature changed it, because of the cost. But, with every reduction comes a consequence. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. I don't think they envision that, most of those legislatures, I don't think any of them were cops. And I don't think they understand the job. And, they pass them like this. Yes, it will save in the ERS system. But look at the price we're paying now. Look at the price we're paying now across our state with the shortage of police officers. And I don't think they even thought of that. They just were looking at ways to save funds. And yes, our retirement system, maybe the adjustment has to happen there to make sure that it stays solvent. But at the rate we're going, we're running out of police officers. And this is just one way of hoping, anyway, that it'll help the recruiting and retention.
And I have another question. So in the be it resolved, this is basically sending it to state leadership, the governor, and the committees that put this forward in the legislature, as well as the unions. Is there a bill waiting to go before the legislature that would be doing this?
I believe they are contemplating, I believe it was in there last year as well. It just didn't go anywhere.
It just didn't go anywhere. So
Yeah.
we're trying to get it to go somewhere.
Correct.
So when we go to the opening of the ledge, we would be promoting it if there is.
As an
bill.
individual county, we will be. I'm hoping if we can get the 4 counties to support this and introduce and pass their own resolutions that we can somehow do something with HSAC where HSAC can present, even though it's not on the HSAC legislative package, this is a resolution that was passed by all 4 counties but didn't make it in time for the package. So, but individual counties or collectively as 4 counties, we could go and lobby the legislature.
Okay, well, thank you.
Any other questions before we open it up? With that, is there anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Okay, with that, I'll suspend the rules. Absolutely, absolutely.
So first off, good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, council members. I want to thank you for entertaining this resolution, and on a personal level and a professional level. So my name is Mark Ozaki. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Kaua Police Department. So I'm going to speak on our professional level as the representative from KPD. We plan on having more people here, but this council meeting has been going at light speed. Mm-hmm. We thought we'd be here in another hour and a half. So this is the team that we have right now. But the Kaua Police Department is in full support of this, and for all the reasons that you already said, and in the write-up. Our team here, who is hands-on with recruitment, they definitely want to have some things to say, but. There's so many examples of why this proposal is important and why it is a crucial recruiting tool. We have several examples. We have people that want to come in and inquire that retired from the military, and then they find out, oh, I have to work this much more years before I can, qualify for a retirement. And they're like, they do the math, and they're like, I'm not really sure if I want to. Do another 10 more years or wait till I'm 60. You get out of the military at 48, 49 years old if you do 20 years in the military.
38.
Pardon me?
38.
Oh, 38 now? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you retire, if you go out of high school at 18, at 38, you're retired from the military.
Yeah, 38 years old. So then if they want to come and have a second career, basically they got to work another whole regular recruitment type of age. Or we have people that come in the department in their, early 20s. We're recruiting people as soon as they are legally able to own and carry a firearm, 21 years old, and then they do the math and they say, oh, I have to work, how much more years? And we actually are just losing a really good officer. He's going to the feds. We just found out yesterday. And if he stayed at KPD, he would have to work probably another 30 years before he qualifies with his age and the years of service. And if he leaves now and starts a brand new career at the federal law enforcement, in 20 years he has a full retirement. So it makes sense, for these, young officers to look for other options. And it's very difficult to recruit when they have, when they have other options, and when they have, they're very knowledgeable about what's going on. This generation, they do the math. They want to see what's going on. So I just want to let you know we are in support of that.
Thank you. Chief?
Good morning. Assistant Chief Makana Rivera. I just wanted to make a couple comments regarding what Council Chair said about the size of the recruit classes. I came in prior to 2012, and yes, I think my class was 13 in the academy. We saw others that were in excess of 10, so our numbers have dramatically declined. Currently, we're averaging probably about 4 per academy, some as low as 2. So it's been pretty bad. To what you said about the cost factor and that being part of the reason, there were some other changes made. So the contribution was at 2.5% prior to 2012. Now it's 2.25%. So there is a reduction in cost there. What they've also done is made that based on your actual base salary, not including any overtime. So there is some other cost reducing factors that were included in the changes. So I do think this is an important and valuable point to bring up, and I think we're only asking to change the age, not the contribution or any other cost factors. So, thank you.
Captain?
Good morning, Captain Stacy Pereira. I just want to say I'm part of the last class before the changeover, and I had a class of 9. Since then, I don't think we've had anything close to that in terms of recruitment. Like the AC said, we are only having classes of 4 or less since, I can't even remember when. It does make a huge difference in retirement. I came in at a later age, at 35, and I thank God every day that I don't have to stay for 30 years from age 35. I started out my career as a civilian with the county, so I have 8 years with the county prior to becoming an officer. So those will contribute as well at a lesser rate, but coming in, knowing 30, if I came in at 35, having to do 30 years plus age, that's tough. That's a tough thing to swallow. I probably wouldn't have done it. That probably would have deterred me from moving forward and becoming an officer. So retirement is huge. We may not think of it in our early years, but like our losing one of our officers, he's been there for at least 8 years now, and we're losing him to the federal government. Federal government across the board is 20 years. I have a sister-in-law with TSA, and she's only has to do 20 years. So we are competing with other federal agencies here on island as well in terms of retirement. And they're going to look to something like a TSA where they can just do 20 years rather than KPD at 30 years as it sits right now. Thank you.
Any questions for these three fine men and women? If not, thank you very much. Mr. Cycles, you had your hand up?
For the record, Lonnie Psychos. I'm here as a fiscal conservative representing the public. And so all of you running for office, if the state were to agree to do this, how are you going to pay for it? Right? So in our county budget, right, we're going to end up spending significantly more money in salaries to people that are retired, which I'm not opposed to. My question is, where's the money going to come from? Because we don't have enough money for our sewage problems. We don't have enough money for our potable water problems. We don't have enough money or a plan for any of our major problems. And this is going to be a significant amount of money coming out of somebody's budget every year. And I appreciate the police department's position in this. But my question is, fairly recently we had some major, what would you call it, a company come in and do a survey with the police department to try and look at the underlying problems within the department. And so we in the public are unaware of anything but a few generalities. But my question for the police department is, are your internal problems that you make us aware of at police commission meetings through the survey that was done, is the primary problem this, money for retirement, or are there other systemic problems, and will this money affect the systemic problems? Like, I'm all for the police hearing the day the police department says we're happy, but we don't hear the police department saying they're happy. I would like to help the police department get happy, but my question is this the best use of money? And so I really don't have an opinion in this. I'm against it from the generic position that they have a collective bargaining agreement that we have to pay for, and the collective bargaining agreement does not include this. And so it just is a matter of civics. This is an end run around the collective bargaining agreement. And so to everybody else employed by the state and the county, if the legislature were to go collective bargaining agreement, that's the Pandora's box that you're opening. Is you're telling everybody, figure out how to end run collective bargaining and get more money. And so, again, very supportive of police department, not against this resolution, but I think that there's really big issues involved that aren't currently being addressed. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Not, I'll call a meeting back to order. Any further discussion, Councilmember Cowden?
I'm going to be supporting this, and I appreciate our testifier. One way of paying for these costs is through the expensive cost of repeat recruitment for training and the recruitment effort takes a long time. The training effort is a good solid year. When we have that turnover and staff loss, then we have the extra overtime costs. I appreciate that you brought up the Gallup poll. There was also a SHOPO poll and an HSGA poll. And, HSG, am I saying it wrong? HSGE? The other union poll. I can't believe I'm stuttering on that one. We had 3 polls, and I thought that they revealed some really critical challenges that were there. And, choice made recently, I think really helped to block correcting that problem. And I think that we have to do whatever we can to take care of our police department. And I think it's absolutely essential. And it's a difficult job. We just worked with a blessing for the fire station. Yesterday I was really happy to be out there. Both police and fire have a lot of job trauma, for sure. But fire is pretty across the board treated as hero. And the way that their schedule goes, they're able to really stay in good shape, and they're able to have another job. They're able to create an extra pattern of income. That's not the case for the police department. And so that's why I asked if they were both collected, like if it was just police, that's an even easier yes. Because police, it's an all hands on deck situation, and we really need to be able to be having more people able to come and be able to be happy, because in the police department, they're heroes to some, but they are, they really are in the crossfire, so it's emotionally difficult. There's many, many ways that job is probably the most difficult job in our county. We'll say the ocean safety officers, they're the bull riders of the county, they really put their life at risk in a very, very difficult way. But anyway, I appreciate you all, and so I will be supporting this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Otto?
Yeah, I'll also be supporting. I think for many of the reasons Councilmember Cowden just said, our officers need all the support that they can get. I think it's more than fair, especially if the federal 20-year limit is the cutoff there. I think it's more than fair. I think we need to be encouraging the best of the best to join our police department, and it's such an important role in our community, and we want good people. It's a no-brainer to me. It's an absolute yes. Thank you very much, Chair.
Anyone else? I'll just say that, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Kaua.
Just Mahalo, I really appreciate what was said from our police officers, and totally supportive. And really wanted to say that I like the connection statewide, like the Chair said. We got to take it full for it. But for Kauai, it's at that time we got to keep moving forward, and I think this is a big part to support our police officers and continue a good opportunity for you folks, and then take it to the state level, like Chair was saying. So I think that's a good one. And then once we get everybody together, then we can really keep it solid overall. So I just want to say that overall, that it's totally supported. Thank you.
Mr. Coley?
Just one quick thing. I wanted to also thank everyone who came up and testified, and I was especially interested in hearing the specific data about the cost and how it's already been reduced when the contribution amount went down from 2.5% to 2.25%, and that they're calculating it now just based on the base salary and not any overtime. So the state and we have different ways to get cost savings, but we shouldn't do it in a way that then hurts our recruitment. So, and you've been very clear in that it is hurting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I just say, and I can totally appreciate Mr. Seiko's testimony because he brings up some valid points, because it does come with a cost. But as Ms. Cowden spoke of earlier, some of the cost savings will be in overtime. I think significant costs in overtime. But for me, the bigger advantage is, and we're not asking for this to be created. This was what was in place. And when this was in place, we did not have the recruiting issues that, or challenges that we have today. So without going through a $300,000 study by a consultant, you can kind of say that, there is a correlation between retirement benefits and recruiting and retention. Of course, it's not scientific. But in that study that you talked about, the morale study or whatever it was called, a couple of the things that stood out for me was the employee burnout and the overworked employees that create morale issues. Yes, you got leadership challenges. Yes, that affects morale and productivity. But at the end of the day, when you're running one cop, 18, 20, 22 hours because there's no one else to come in, that's going to impact morale as well. It's going to impact their life at home, their life at work. So there's the intangibles to me that we got to all consider. And yes, it comes with a cost. But according to the data I got from KPD, between 2017 and 21, 40% reduction or vacancies increase. I mean, it's insane. Where are we going to be in the next 5 years or 10 years if we don't fix this problem or try to fix the problem? And I did want to run a scenario because the chief brought up the military career. So just think how this works. You retire at 38. By the time you take the test and all of that, you get hired at KPD at 40. That's just because it's easier to do math. So that person would have to work to get his 25 or her 25-year minimum, would have to work till he or she is 65 years old to be eligible for the 25-year retirement. 65. Now, if they wanted to work just for the 10-year vested benefits, they would have to work till 60, which means they would have to work 22 years to qualify for the 10-year retirement with the state. That's why the military guy, the veteran that's coming out looking for another job, who's disciplined, well-trained, and ready to go, is going somewhere else. Because it makes no sense to come here and work till he's or she's 65 years old to collect a 20-year pension. So, again, these are unintended consequences. I don't think the legislature did this. They did it strictly to save money, not realizing that the consequences was going to hurt us in the long run. See, the state, they don't pay for cops. You understand? The state of Hawaii doesn't pay for police officers. The counties do. They don't pay for fire departments. The counties do. So quick to, So I'm hoping, and I appreciate the support of this council, and I'm hoping we can reach out to our colleagues across the state and get this introduced and passed at every single county so we can get this in front of legislatures. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry for the last minute notice. I wanted to get this out before the end of the year, so it gives us time to circulate this to the other counties. And this is our last meeting of the month. So.
One funny thing. I just want to say HGEA. We had 3. I was like, gosh, where's my brain?
No acronyms, Felicia, no acronyms.
I don't like acronyms, yeah. We had 3 polls that was really rigorously discussed, and they were very important, and they were all pointing to similar things.
Thank you. If there's no further discussion, the motion is to approve. Roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i?
Aye.
Council Chair Pozo?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Thank you. We have the bill for first reading coming up, but I would like to just take a caption break here so we can go right through and not have to be interrupted. So with that, 10-minute caption break. Hōʻike, ready? To order. Calling me back to order. Clerk, can you have the next item, please?
Chair, on page 7, bill for first reading, proposed draft bill number 2979, a bill for an ordinance amending chapter 8, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to uses in districts.
Okay, thank you. I have a
Wait, what was the motion? The motion is to refer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to refer to planning commission.
I have a presentation on this, and this is this bill is meant to go ahead with a bill we put out earlier, 2973. So I'll wait for this to come up and. And in fact, even my own house, when I bought that, I bought it for employees. Okay, next slide, please. So my motivation, you guys have heard about this before. This is something that was put in by a hotel to house foreign workers, and it's this is a recent example. It's a 36-bedroom complex there. And it doesn't match the form or character of the area or the surrounding neighborhood. And but within the current definition of family in county code, this development could be possible in almost any neighborhood. So if the lot is large enough, it could be a single family house in any neighborhood. You put one kitchen in and 2 parking stalls, and that's enough for it. Next slide, please. So there's 2 complementary bills. What was introduced and passed first read a couple months ago was to amend the definition of family to an individual or group of 2 or more persons related by blood, adoption, or marriage and living together in a single housekeeping unit as a dwelling unit. It used to say family may also include a group of not more than 5 individuals unrelated by blood, marriage, or adoption, and now I put it up to 10 in that last bill. What had happened in 2023 is the definition of family had been reduced back to just 2 or more persons living together in a single residential unit. So the outcome of that is that you could put 50 people in as a family in one building, and it's just a single family residence, and it would be, a ministerial permit in any place that you could have a single family residence. So I was trying to put the number back in. When I made it be 10, it's still awfully generous, but let's face it, there's a lot of really crowded houses because there's not enough places. And having it at 10 wouldn't typically undermine any of the existing houses that have been bought for that purchase. So the second bill, which is what we have together today, which is Bill 2979. This is housing that would be employer-owned or nonprofit-owned. We use the term dormitories because most of the housing words have been used up in other applications. It doesn't mean a room with bunk beds. It could mean that, but typically that's not how this bill is designed. And so everywhere there's a U, that means they have to get a permit, a use permit, so they would go through Planning Commission and to be able to put it together. So group housing, typically right now, that would be like a family violence, I mean a domestic violence shelter, a reentry home, could be a respite home, a recovery home. Those are things that the neighborhood would need to know. This has a P for permit in the commercial zones. We have a lot of commercial area, that shopping centers that are underutilized, and it would go there. Industrial, it's not in there because we're not supposed to put anything in, no housing in industrial. You can't even put a single family house in there. Next slide, please. So action requirements for dormitories, these can be very simple: security plan, solid waste management plan, parking plan, tenant agreement, infrastructure and residential standards, and a project plan. It's just when it's put in, they would say the basis of, this is right next to a shopping center, most of the people working in there, living in there, work at the shopping center, wherever it is, but what it would be is it's showing that they have looked at all the issues that are affecting that housing. And the first 5 all came out of problems with that example that I used for what motivated this. Number 6, project plan, that came out of the discussions. I had 4 discussions with companies and large landowners that maybe might bring over 50 people, 100 people, 300 people, and need to house them. So currently, those are mostly being housed in purchased housing in neighborhoods, purchased or rented housing. So it displaces the existing population. Next slide, please. So these are just examples. I took a picture of Kealaula. It could be something simple like Kealaula type of housings where it's a little bit more than a studio with a kitchen or a 1-bedroom with a kitchen. Nantucket, Massachusetts, which is Martha's Vineyard, and Vail, Colorado, different places. Martha's Vineyard has many needs for this. It's very similar to us, though you can drive on a bridge over to that island, I believe. But they've done a lot with doing housing for people who are coming from somewhere else rather than using their residential housing for that. Next slide, please. This is a win for business. So lodging for employees or groups designed with a clear understanding of the terms and purpose of residence. So when somebody is done with that piece of work, it's really clear that it's time for them to go. Win for tenants. Lodging with privacy at low to no cost with clear understanding of terms and purpose. And I would actually hope that this might inspire people who do live here to want to work for these companies because then they get the housing. Win for community. Retention of housing supply for residents along with input and understanding of what developments are placed in neighborhoods. Next slide. So it's basically simple, and obviously what's required here is it to make business sense for somebody to build it, right? It wouldn't get built if it didn't make sense for the landowner. I talked to large landowners, or for the company that's wanting to do it. But it's trying to make another possibility so we don't have like 36-room container units happening like that are basically houses wherever we would allow a house. So trying to create a better opportunity than no opportunity by shutting it down with that redefinition of family. but trying to allow for another option. And so I had very good conversations with 4 different groups that gave us good feedback. A concern is the cost of building now is getting so expensive, but they were supportive. So if you look in your packet, we have the bill for 2979, and we have a few housekeeping errors that I'd like to move to amend as circulated. If I could have a second.
Questions in your presentation?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, please. Yes, do you have any questions?
I have one. I think for the earlier bill that you mentioned, I think there's some probably confusion by the public at large on what is a family, right? And I think it's because of how the language already is in our some of our laws. But in referring to that, I think by using the word dormitory the way you use it here, it's also now taking a word that most people understand to be one thing and trying to say it's something else. Because in your presentation, when you say Kealaula is a dormitory style construction, it is not. Kealaula is individual units that are, whether they're attached as a duplex or not, some are single, some are duplex-like, but it's standalone units that have their own bathrooms, so nobody would call that a dormitory. I mean, when I was in college, a dormitory was, you got a big building, you got lots of private rooms, but you share the bathroom. It's, it has private stalls and everything, but you go down a hallway and you share bathrooms and stuff. So if you mean that, I think you're going to get resistance along the lines of, since COVID, everyone needs separate areas to not infect each other, right? So dormitory seems like opening yourself up for that shared bathrooms. And I think it's just a matter of the use of the word, because in other places you talk about structure, you talk about building,
so if we
and the confusion over family now is going to be over dormitory as well, I think.
So if we look on page 1 in section 2, on the definition of employee dormitory, group housing dormitory, it says means a building providing sleeping in residential quarters for 5 or more individuals and their families, if they don't have to have a family, provided by the related employer. An employee dormitory contains multiple private or semi-private single or shared rooms with communal kitchen facilities and recreational areas. So it's not competitive, so I think you're bringing up a good point when it's looking at Kealaula where they have the separate kitchens. So it could be little buildings, but they shouldn't have separate kitchens in this. This doesn't assign
in your
separate
slide where you show Kealaula, you also show like I don't know, like an apartment building or like condos.
This is a dormitory building in Vail, and in those structures, they're usually a unit in the bathroom with a big kitchen facility that's shared. A lot of these would have interior bathrooms connected with the room, just like if you look on the image of the motivation.
Yeah.
These container homes, every one of them has a bathroom in the unit. So there are 36 bathrooms in that container home.
And then,
house.
that slide 4, right? The container homes, if you will. So what, would that be a dormitory then?
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
It would be a place like this would be, it's like, how do we create something like that? Though it's not suggesting it has to be containers.
Are those separate units with separate bathrooms? And separate
Yes, they are.
kitchens?
There's 36 units with bathrooms.
But it's a shared kitchen, right?
There's a shared kitchen. What they ended up doing is putting in six kitchens. There's 2 parking spaces. It was originally a single-family house, and then because it's open space, there was room to make it be 6 houses. But you could do that with just, say, 1 kitchen. You could maybe make a container that's entirely a kitchen, and that would be 1 house. So right now, what I'm trying to do is put guardrails around what is single-family residence, because this type of structure, if there was only 1 kitchen in there, it could be placed in any neighborhood. And if it didn't have design criteria, it could even look like that. And so the goal is, when I put the bill out before, the 2973 that reclaimed the definition of housing and putting it up to 10 people, plus whoever's, like if there's a family in there and then there's 10 unrelated adults, that's really a pretty large population, but I was asked to hold off on that because it doesn't allow for something like what's here on slide 4, where there's the 36 units, that there's a real need for that by ag companies and different things. So I held it off and reintroduced this group housing.
So the part I don't understand is, in one sense, you're saying you're trying to create a bill, a correct prior law, if you will, with a bill to not allow this, but then you want to create a new bill to allow it.
I want
in a different way.
I want to reclaim that's what Bill 2973, it reclaims the definition of family. Only in 2023 was family redefined as an individual or group of 2 or more persons living together in a single residence. So that's there's no guardrails on that.
But that language of 5 or 10, you said it was 10 and you're changing it to 5.
It was 5 in the family. I moved it to 10.
Well, not more than 10.
So that existing houses, there's a number of places when we were looking, there are many, many houses that are owned by industry to put construction workers in, farm workers in, different people that are coming from other islands. But there might be 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 of these houses in a general area to be able to be housing people for projects, big projects. And so it starts to exhaust existing neighborhoods. And when families are trying to buy their own home, they have to compete with companies and maybe the military base or wherever else. Big organizations can buy up the housing, so they can outcompete families in the same way that vacation rentals can outcompete, especially in the past, housing in the beachfront areas. So this is a way where, okay, I get it that people need to have a place to put 50 employees, and they still really, with this, can still buy up 10 houses and put 5 people in them. I mean, this is not holding them back too hard. But what I don't want is these places with 35 people in little units in the middle of a neighborhood without asking permission from the neighborhood. So when they have to get a use permit, it might be that it really fits well into an area, and people will be like, fine, they don't have a problem. They could, but rather right now, you really could put the item that's on page 4, on slide 4, you could put that in a neighborhood that didn't otherwise have constraints.
So I have a question on
Part
that.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. So you're saying right now what's on page 4, slide 4, is the most non-Kauaian looking structure I've ever seen. But you're saying right now with the current code, that could pop up in somebody's residential neighborhood
Yes, it
with
could.
36 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
No, there's 36 bathrooms.
In this thing, the 36
There's,
bathrooms?
each bedroom has a bathroom.
Okay, and,
But they have 2 parking stalls. Now, right now, there are 6 kitchens in there, but they could just put 1 kitchen in.
okay, so, and that is currently allowed without a use permit.
Correct.
So what, does this bill prevent them from doing the same thing now? I mean,
Bill
'cause they- I
Bill
don't-
2973, which we already passed first read, that returned the definition of family back to an individual or group of 2 or more persons related by blood, adoption, or marriage and living together in a single housekeeping unit as dwelling unit. But we have this, family may also include a group of not more than 10 individuals unrelated by blood, adoption, or marriage. You could have 3 couples that aren't married choosing to live in a house.
So with that amendment, then this would not be allowed right now, right?
With this amendment to our family definition, page 4 would no longer be allowed.
As it stands right now?
As it stands, it would not be allowed. And so I was asked to reconsider that because things like what is on page 4, this 36 unit sleeping quarters, is something that's needed. And so I'll get you in just a second. This is something that's needed. And so that this is wanted, as particularly by certain industries. And so they asked to not put forward Bill 2973. So I came back up with the suggestion of this group housing. Errol?
I'm a little confused when you said this, that project would not be allowed.
This, on slide 4?
Yeah, why would it not be allowed?
It wouldn't be allowed if Bill 2973, which is on slide 5, continues forward. So right now it's been put on hold. I was called to my attention that redefining family to be basically a blood group of people or people choosing to live together essentially would be interrupting a number of houses that are in process.
But 2973 allows up to 10 individuals per dwelling.
10 individuals that aren't related, but that you could have a family in there. Like say you have a big family and then you've got 10 boyfriends or girlfriends or, somebody else. You really could have quite a lot of people in this family house.
The Princeville project has 6 dwellings with 6 bedrooms. So this one would allow...
So this Princeville project, they changed that after I was complaining about it. I don't want to kind of get into that, but they could have 36 units with 1 kitchen, and then that'd be a single-family residence.
But right now they don't. They have 6 kitchens with 6 units.
Yes.
And with
all on the
6
one
units
side.
each, so 36 units.
36. But they could do that with 1 kitchen, and it would still be a single-family residence. If there was 1 kitchen in there.
But they're not. They have 6 kitchens with 6 units associated.
In this particular
So
example.
that's 36 units.
But they only have the 2 parking stalls. It was originally.
But I thought your issue is with how many people are living there, and if Bill 2973 goes through, then they could actually have 60 people.
But not on one parcel, not on one team.
Well, you're limiting the amount of people. I guess
But
I'm
I'm
not
trying to
understanding
do-
why it would.
What this does is if you have 36 workers coming from somewhere else that don't know each other, and you're putting them in a unit, such as this example here, they each have their own bathroom, they have a certain amount of privacy. So they have their own bathroom and their own bedroom. And this is a bigger topic than we are aware of. And it's happening more. and then there's more of these going to be built. And so, like, if you were putting a respite house, for example, which I am supporting, and so on 2973, as it's going to go.
I mean, I guess my question is, I mean, right now, they have, you don't like that they have 6 units with 6 bedrooms each with 36 units. But if your proposed bill number 2973 passes, I mean, they could have up to 60 people or more living there, right?
These are compromises that are going in there. Like in this particular property, I don't think it could. Well, they would have to build a much bigger platform. You know, that's on open space, so it would have to be, if they did that on open space.
That's why I'm trying to understand, like, what the fix is, because you use that Princeville project as an example of what you don't like, but yet the bill that we're doing doesn't prevent what they're doing now.
This bill that we're doing, 2979, what this bill does is it says, okay, if employers are wanting to have accommodations for 30, 50, 100, 300 employees, that they would be applying for a permit. And they would be able to do it, but they would have to apply for a permit, unless it's on a commercial piece of property. So they would have to do that on a commercial property. This is kind of a unique space because it's a large open zoned piece of property. So then they're saying that after the issue was raised, they said, okay, it's 6 houses.
Yeah, because I believe that property can build up to 10 dwellings, so then you could essentially have 4 more kitchens and however many more bathrooms you want, right?
Can I follow up?
Yes.
I'm also a little confused. So outside of the 10 people measure, this measure here today before us, this is almost legalizing these kind of houses just not to look like this? Is that?
This is saying, okay, we understand that there's a demand for this. Other examples where there's a demand for this is there used to be, and there's a desire again, to put teacher housing on school properties, because there's teachers who are basically unhoused. We can't keep our teachers. There's a demand in the medical field. There's a demand in a lot of these places, but so this isn't exactly an apartment. It's less than an apartment because it's not intended to be competing with apartments. So this is a way to put a structure onto these properties where there's a U, but it would have to go through a process where there's a plan, because like in this example here on page 4, there wasn't a parking plan, no security plan, no.
Okay, so you're legalizing it with conditions that you're adding in so that it doesn't kind of look like this is the goal. So you're kind of like, you're not outlawing houses like that, but you're kind of trying to tailor what they would look like and what they would.
For the safety of the tenants, for the security of the neighborhood where it would be placed, so the neighborhood would be like, yeah, we're good with this.
So the big difference in this measure is that it would go from not requiring a use permit to requiring a use permit for the similar structure. So if your bill was enacted today and they came to build this thing, they would have had to gone through a use permit that they didn't have to go through. Am I just,
yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I would say, although like what Council Member Kaneshiro is bringing up is because this is a large piece of land that could potentially have 10 units on it, they could have, and I don't want to make it too specific about this property because there's a lot that I could say on it, but they could potentially somewhere put 4 more. They're saying this is 6, so they could put 10 just like that all on the same platform. They could potentially do that on this piece of property that is a much larger piece, because it's open zones, so they would be saying that's 10 single-family residents is what they would be saying. If it's a large piece that's got room for 10 single-family residences, they could put a platform like this and put,
Even with your bill, though, they would just have to go through a use permit to do it.
and it would have to have 10. So what I'm really trying to do, so if you look at like slide 3 and slide 1, I chose to use, this slide 3 is my own neighborhood, that's Kilauea Town. There's areas in Kapaa Town that might be like this. I have Kekaha on the back. It's towns that is maybe affordable level housing. These are not resort or luxury houses. These are houses that are already densely populated. These are working class neighborhoods. But so instead of having families in working class neighborhoods, what you end up having, you could have is just employer-owned. It's kind of Plantation 2.0, right? Employer-owned housing. So almost everybody who lives in that neighborhood is...
So how does your measure stop that from happening?
Well, my bill that I had moved forward before, 2973, stops that from happening.
Okay, and then...
And that created stress for different businesses and nonprofits that have the intention of needing to put in a lot of people.
Can we use the house across the street from my house as an example here?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have 30 people that were living in that home. It's 13 rooms in this house, shared bathrooms, shared kitchen. How does this measure change that for...
That house would
if, say, it built today?
They would have to have a permit.
They would have to have a permit.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't require a permit?
Correct.
For that use of the property prior? Okay.
They would have to have
that helps me get, thank you. Trying to...
So there's just more and more of that in there. So that would have to have it.
Okay. That helps me.
So this is, what this is really doing is trying to put, the bill that I passed already, 2973, is an effort to put guardrails around a house that's utilized inappropriately, like your house. That was the one in the raid. Mm-hmm. Because those are foreign workers, it's not family related by blood, adoption, marriage. They are all basically there because there's an employer who put them in there.
But your measure supports that under a use permit.
Under a use permit,
right.
They could do that.
Right.
My bill 2973 that I tried
would
to
limit
pass,
it to 10.
to not allow it to do that, I was asked by planning that said that that would be really hard on a lot of projects that are going. So I slowed it down and then tried to come up with something that could address it. So if people want to have 30 or 40 foreign workers unrelated to each other move into a neighborhood in a house, they would need to get a permit. Okay. That's what it's saying. So the community would have
regardless of the way the house looks, it's about that use. Okay.
Yes, it's about that use.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No question regarding the use permit. Currently, if someone was putting up a affordable housing project on a residential property, say like the one across from Taco Bell, right now they can do it permitted. With this, they're gonna have to get a use permit, and then they're gonna have to provide.
No, that's very different.
Wouldn't it be considered a group housing?
The house across from Taco Bell, if we're thinking of the right house across from Taco Bell, housing across from Taco Bell, those are affordable workforce housing. So those are apartments for permanent living that aren't owned by an employer. Those properties over there are built with a kitchen and a bathroom in each unit to be able to house a family, and they would move in there, and it doesn't matter where they work, it's their income level, that puts them in the right category to be there.
But would it be considered a group housing dormitory?
No, it wouldn't, because it's not owned by a nonprofit that has a special function, like domestic violence. It wouldn't be owned in that way. Those are people who live, that's workforce housing that you're talking about. Those are apartments, and these, with this simpler piece, they are not built in a way where people would live there year after year after year. It's not permanent housing. It's housing when teachers are coming and they have no place to be, they can be in there for a while. It might be one of these group structures is owned by a leasing agent, and maybe 10 goes to the Hawaii Pacific Health, who doesn't have places to put their people or has to really struggle to find it. It could go to the Department of Education. It could go to a construction company that puts in roads. They could lease out different units of it. So it's like a workforce hotel, effectively. And I actually tried to look at that. Terminology couldn't use that. But, you know, so people who are there for maybe a month, maybe 3 days, maybe 6 months, but it's not really their home. It's not where they would be living forever, and it's not competitive with something like what goes across the street from Taco Bell in Lihue. But when they built those places across the street in Taco Bell, I mean, in Lihue, they have all of those plans. They have to do that as part of when they get their permits to build multifamily housing. They have a plan for their solid waste management, parking, you know, tenant agreements, all of that. They have all of those things when you're building really workforce housing. When you just go in and get expand the intention of a single family residence, you don't have to have all those things right now. You don't think about where are we going to put our garbage. They could just have one garbage can, the way it is now. So this is saying you need to have that plan. You need to, if you're going to be putting 15 people that all have cars in a place, they need to have room to put 15 cars. If there's a 15-passenger van that comes and picks them up, and they're only living here for 3 weeks, and they pick them all up at once to take them out to the field to do some harvesting, that 15-passenger van is what goes on their parking plan. They have 2 vans and, you know, maybe 5 parking stalls, and they have 40 people there. That's what would go in there. So I'm trying to protect neighborhoods from being utilized inappropriately by giving another possibility. And if they want to put these places in neighborhoods, they just simply have to ask instead of doing it without community support. The concern on that is that then it's a little bit harder for companies to come and put those in neighborhoods because the community might not like it. But we want to protect communities.
I'll just say I definitely support the concept. I think right now, and I just had coffee with a developer from Oahu who's here looking for land to do exactly this. Because right now, you know, the labor, everybody's working right now. So he's flying people in every Monday, flying them out. So he was here looking for land to do exactly that, because my concern is not so much what that thing looks like in Kingsborough. I mean, I don't like it.
Yeah, we can make it nicer.
What these operations are doing to our inventory, our stock for our local residents to find housing is critical. There is none, because these companies are renting or buying up the inventory for their employees, and then driving the rents up and preventing our local families from moving in, or getting kicked out because somebody just did a long-term rental at a very high rate. So I definitely support the concept. I just want to be clear that should this pass, should this pass, what's going to prevent your slide 4 monstrosity from happening? Will they have to follow this 2979? Or can they utilize the existing code? Are they able to skip this process, I guess is what I'm...
Well, thank you for that question. And so this bill 2979 is really very open, other than needing to have the permits, the use permits. So it can be adapted, and it could be looked at on how that would happen with how it would prevent slide 4 from, say, happening in your neighborhood. It is that in your neighborhood, which I will say is Wailoa house lots, if they bought one parcel, they can have up to, depending upon how we deal with the ADUs, the additional dwelling units and the additional rental units, you know, they can still already cram these neighborhoods. They could do that. They could probably buy 3 plots in a row and cram each one of them, and they could have a way of building on top of every one of them. But it goes with the density that's available for the property. So like if you're looking at this, what's being called 6 single-family residents, and that was on one of those, they could potentially do 4 of them, call one of them a house, and one of them an ADU, and one of them an ARU, and one of them a guest house. I mean, I have raised concerns about that, you know, but there's dimensional challenges, there's setback challenges, there's all kinds of, it's not that easy to do.
House lots is probably not a good example because the lots are pretty much...
But if they did it right behind Cocoa Palms, for example, and bought like 4 lots in a row, that would be a place where they could buy 4 lots in a row and legitimately build houses for employees, and it'd be right next to the bus, right next to the bike path, right next to stores and restaurants. That would be a way where they could still do it if they called each different lot a single family house and they put 10 unrelated adults in it. They could put 40 people in it that way. This is barely a handbrake, but it's a little bit of a handbrake.
Yeah.
Where right now you could take a half-acre lot and put easily 40 people in it with a good-sized kitchen and have it be a stacked kind of monster house, and that would be considered a single-family residence, and they wouldn't have to ask anybody in the area. And so if my bill 2973 passed, they would have to ask. And so I'm doing this. I held off on 2973 that puts a little bit of a guardrail on family residence. I held off on it so that there could be some pathway for what is needed. Otherwise, maybe we wouldn't have roads and big buildings and, you know, all these other things that we need. But this was a compliment to my doing that. And when this says 5, no more than 5, I mean, quarters of 5 or more individuals, instead of 10, is because when we talk to schools and medical and some of these other things, they maybe wouldn't want to have to, they didn't want to have to build for 10. Maybe they just need 5 little units back there, so when a teacher has to move out of her rental unit and it might take 10 months for her to find another place, she has a place to go. Or he, I don't mean to be.
Any other questions on the bill?
I just had what is a commercial food production facility?
That's what we were told to use instead of kitchen.
What is it though?
It's a kitchen. You know, so people can eat. But for example, if the building was right next to restaurants, and still, you know, you need to be able to get up and eat something. You want to make yourself some toast and eggs. So it would depend upon the application. It's very narrow very broad. People could have a very extensive kitchen if they have a lot of people coming for a long time to work. Maybe they have a buffet breakfast right there. It could be all different kinds of structures. So if you're looking at when they put their plan in, they would just
well,
say
it says there shall be at least one on-site kitchen, and for developments with a projected tenancy of 25 or more individuals, there shall be installed a commercial food production facility.
which means, that was the words we were asked to use. That means like a commercial kitchen. Or
They
something.
gotta, this bill requires the Department of Health to certify it
As a commercial kitchen.
yes,
If you had like 30,
25 or more.
well, you have 25 or more people, coming in,
If you could be cooking like a cafeteria style.
yeah.
But if I'm the developer, I would just make a kitchen for each 24 people.
Yeah, that's what that's why I use that Kealaula picture, but that's probably not the right thing. Because that looks for like just two people. It's not meant to compete with apartment buildings. It's intentionally not meant to compete with apartment buildings. Because that wouldn't be appropriate. If a company chose to make apartment buildings for their employees, they could certainly do that under our regular law our ordinance and capacity for that. This is something less than that. This is sort of temporary. They're sending nurses over for 6 weeks at a time. And maybe it's right next to the hospital. And I haven't talked to the hospital about this. I'm just making an example. Maybe it's right next to
It's like the convent at the church.
It's like the convent at the
convent
church.
where the nuns all live and they share. I mean, like I said, I think the demand for this is pretty significant here with these people that are using seasonal workers because it's just too expensive. I think the dormitory is the right word too. I do, because that's what it is. It's a dormitory. It's just where you're sharing your kitchen, you're sharing your showers.
Possibly sharing your showers.
Yeah.
It's up to the design, but it could have bathrooms in each unit.
It's just okay. Good. Go ahead, Mr. Kaua.
No, just in follow-up to that.
Mike?
You mentioned teachers, that's the teacher housing, right? Correct.
There used to be teacher housing.
Yeah. So, just so I'm clear, slide 4, taking that footprint, that's what you're saying?
No, we don't want it to look like
No,
that.
not that.
Okay.
In bigger terms, not just exact footprint,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean, the layout and all that, right? That's what we're saying.
Yes, and then so why there's a little bit of, and their families that's in there. Again, not meaning to stereotype, but teachers, that's more than a year typically.
Yeah.
And they might have a baby. They might have 2 little kids. They might have a spouse. So it's still very somewhat shared housing, but they would certainly have their own bathroom and maybe they have... So they can design it different ways. So it would go in with a different design, but it's not intended to be creating a school campus to go, okay, well now we have a density of 10 houses on a school campus. They would have a dormitory structure that could be helping whatever they chose to have. Maybe commonly they had 3 to 5 teachers not able to find a place. What we're finding is that teachers flip they last about 2 years because of housing. For new employed teachers, we're bringing people over from other countries, they could certainly go in this housing. So this was to put barriers around single family residents. The Bill 2973, I was told that'd be too hard on too many applications. So this is to be able to create the capacity for needing to house workers before 2973 moves forward to the Planning Commission. Because if we choose to just do nothing, what happened to Hanalei and Poipu with vacation rentals is what is very likely to happen to a lot of our other locations, and it's already well underway.
Any other questions, Mr. Cooley?
Yes, again with slide 4 and 5, I think, so you're trying to clarify the definition of family. But there are these terms, right? Single family home, single residential unit, single family residence, which is the SFR, right, that keeps showing up. And now I also see in your slide you have another term. You have single housekeeping unit. So I think the interesting thing to probably work on with planning and maybe housing too is what are the definitions of all of these different terms, and are they trying to talk about the same thing, or are they trying to create ambiguity so that that can happen? Because 36 bedroom, a 36 bedroom single family residence, right? A standard definition just off of Google, single family residence is a detached house on its own private lot designed as a standalone structure for one family, featuring its own entrance, kitchen, and living spaces. I mean, this container thing is separate containers with separate entrances to give these separate people their own residences. So how can that be a single family, right? So is those definitions wrong in the prior law? Single family home, single family residence, single residential unit. And then my question to you is, what are you just introducing a new phrase now? Single housekeeping unit, and why? What does that mean that's different from single family residence?
If we move, I guess, to the bill, and then I have a housekeeping bill to clean up a little bit of the language. But I didn't have the assistance of planning on making this bill.
Yeah, and obviously this is going to go to planning. So.
It will go to planning, but they didn't assist. So we worked on it as best we could.
Yeah.
Very helpful if they were here.
Well, they don't support the bill.
Okay.
And they've been very clear that they don't support it.
And it's first reading.
And it's first reading, and they didn't support 2973, which is the putting the definitions, the guardrails back on a single family house. And so when they didn't want to do that, I went back to trying to come up with something else. Originally, they were embedded in the same bill, and because I wanted to put it in the same bill. So I just really feel like even if this is imperfect, there's room to fix it. I'm happy to have a lot of work done on it. But if it gets into motion, then the planning department has to give some information on it other than that they don't like it. But because to me, it's so important. I've been working on this for almost a year. And I'm watching our working class neighborhoods being emptied out of the families that make a neighborhood. So when you have people coming and living for a half a year, a week, 2 months, it's not the same people that your kids are playing with. And it affects, how families can live together. It affects neighborhoods. So I'm trying to protect neighborhoods. I'd say we're about 25% there of what we've gone through with vacation rentals. So raising my hand and saying we have a problem, and that's that we're losing our neighborhoods. We have a need, and that's that we figure out how to handle this workforce that comes over from other islands, the continental United States, and possibly other countries that seemingly are needed. And I'm thinking if there's almost cheap housing or close to free housing, maybe they can get more people right out of the college or right out of the community. instead of living with mom and dad, maybe they go work for this company that offers housing. But I'm trying to make a solution because we clearly, in my view, have a problem that's on the rise. And so I appreciate you guys considering this. I do want to move to amend in a minute, but just to consider this, to go before planning, hopefully somebody in the press looks at it. It forces the issue to have this conversation instead of 3 years from now when we're like Maui with their, what's it called, Resolution 9?
Bill 9.
Bill 9, having to pull back all this housing and putting
Why
it
don't you,
into it.
Councilmember Cowden, why don't you go ahead and introduce your amendment?
Okay, I'd like to move to amend as circulated.
Second.
Thank you.
But do you need anything from planning? Any testimony or anything from planning? No?
I almost appreciate it because they've just consistently told me they don't
Well, I mean,
support it.
it'll be interesting, why they're not here. I mean, if the beauty of this process that we all live in is you get the legislative and executive branch, and, the bill is up here, a planning bill is up at the county council for first reading. You would expect planning to be here. If they disagree, they disagree. If they agree, they agree.
He's probably being kind.
But, it's, again, it's...
Did he say something? Yeah, he can come if he wants.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to invite him. I mean, my point is that, this is a very important day today for a planning bill, because this body decides whether or not it goes across the street to the planning commission. So if what you're saying is that they're not supportive, then, they should, whether they're here personally or in testimony, because I'm going based on what you're saying and what I believe is appropriate for Kauai, and this makes total sense to me. So is there something I'm missing? I don't know. But anyway, go ahead.
Move to amend is circulated. So we captured, after we submitted it, a couple small errors. So these are housekeeping errors, but on page 2 of the original bill, what you'll see where we had sections 8-3.5 through 8-3.8, it should have been 4.5 and 4.8. So it's just correcting it to the accurate spot. And then that happens in a handful of places. I apologize. I must have not typed it right. We were looking at the right places. Somehow there was that mistake. So it corrects that mistake in 2 places. And then also where it says 5 or more individuals, on the definition of dormitory, it had said more individuals and their families, so it made it 5 or more individuals and their families, which makes it sound like all these things are going to be there. It's really 5 or more individuals. There has to be a person that is employed there, and what we were advised is taking out and their families, because for the most part, that's not going to be a part of it. It's just that was in there for very special circumstances, like teachers that might have a family. So we're not going to say they can't bring their child or their spouse into their unit. So, but that would go in these tenant agreement plans. That's more detail than needs to be there. So it doesn't sound like these are all family homes, because in general, that would be the exception, not the rule. So if there was, say, teacher housing behind a school where they had a dormitory program, their tenant agreement might say, $400 a month, and you can have your child and your spouse, or, something like that, or no more than 2 kids, or maybe that one has, I don't want to get too lost. I mean, those could have adjoining units, maybe somebody comes in.
I think it's clear.
But so it's just so that there needs to be a plan, so if there is a violation, so part of that having a tenant agreement, if there's a violation, it's really easy for enforcement, that planning can come over and see that, too much is being charged, because you have to, what you want to guard against is this somehow being turned into a hostel, for people to stay on vacation. You want to guard against it having different challenges. So when by having all those plans in there, if they're violating that plan, they could give them the normal notice of violation with the normal penalty, which would be pretty swift if you had 10 or 15 units with the normal violation penalty.
Any questions on the amendment? Anybody in the audience wishing to testify on the amendment? I'll suspend the rules.
This is the only thing the amendment is, right?
And the top.
This is adding.
It's just adding, just correcting it, amending it. Taking off that with that.
I don't see brackets.
Took the word "and their families" out.
For the record, Lonnie Sykos. Thank you, Mel, for your mention of support for the theory behind all of this. I'm totally in support of this. I live a couple of blocks from Mel, and I've gotten different response from different members of the county, but my current 2-bedroom house, I can turn into either 8 or 16 bedrooms under the current ordinances allowing for ADU and all of that, if I tore my house down. I also have a background in the maritime, and I know that for probably $100,000, I could go buy a sewage treatment plant and put it underground, right? So then I can have an unlimited number of bedrooms based upon my sewage capacity, right? I used to run sewage treatment plants on ships, so I know how they work, right? And so it's hugely important that we do not allow any more of those container monster homes to occur. It is a reality that people of wealth come to the Hawaiian Islands in general, Kauai in particular, buy themselves a house to live in, and then buy 3 or 4 more houses for their staff and their planners and their masseuses and their chefs to live in while they're on Kauai. And then when they leave Kauai and go somewhere else, all those other people live, and our housing sits empty, and the residents don't have any. So thank you very, very much, Member Cowden, for your at least a year of work in this. The enforcement of the tenant agreement is going to be a huge deal. My age and the fact I'm not from here, I am familiar with this issue. My grandparents lived in a town that once was the central repair facility for Southern Railroad, and then Southern Railroad moved that to Atlanta. One of the things that occurred was all of the boarding houses, which is what they were called, eventually closed down due to both federal regulations and the fact that the labor force moved 300 miles. What a boarding house was you got a tiny little room, and you get room and board, which means you get breakfast and dinner, all for a flat rate, and you can stay 1 day, a week, a month, 10 years, right? Apartments were very expensive. Boarding house was the least expensive way to live. And in this plan, I just say, even if you got all these people living in a building and a 16-passenger van comes, if they're going to make their own meals, how do they get to the supermarket? I'll be back for my next 3.
Just put a minute, go ahead. Just you here, sir.
Okay. And so I want to point out again, not for you all not to be confused about terms barracks, dormitory, and boarding house, right? Because they're all self-explanatory. Universities are not the only place that have dormitories. And so one of the things you really need to look at is when you create what's going to replace an apartment building, right? In an apartment, every unit has a kitchen. And so if you're going to replace an apartment building with a different type of sleeping quarters, how are the people actually going to get fed? And so history tells us that what works financially is that the boarding house provide meals, right? You got a kitchen. If you got more than X number of people, we're going to require a certified kitchen, which is a very smart thing to do. And now your required certified kitchen legally can provide meals to all of the people in the building, right? And so this is not quite ready for prime time and final votes, but this is pretty far down the path of trying to identify what the county wants to promote and what the county wants to inhibit. All of this labor is not the same. You need completely different you can use completely different living accommodations for people that are coming here for, say, a month to 3 months, whether it's planting, harvesting, whether it's masons or electrical workers or whatever. People that come short term can live in more of a hotel type environment. If people are going to be full-time employees, live here permanently, they need more than a hotel has with one chest of drawers and one tiny little closet. This is a problem Maui's going to have, is all those vacation rental units they want to turn into apartments. You can't live in them. There's literally no room to put chests of drawers for your belongings. There's a tiny little closet. You can't add another closet. And so that's problematic. All these details get worked out as this progresses. Thank you very, very much for bringing this forward. And no, I don't want monster houses next to me in house lots. I don't think anybody wants monster houses next to them in their neighborhood. So good job, thank you, and we hope to see a finished product here in the next few months. Thank you.
With that, I'll call the meeting back to order. Any further discussion? We're on the amendment. If not, the motion is to approve as amended circulated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're back to the main motion. Any further discussion? Ms. Holland?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councilmember Cowden. I think, I appreciate you looking at this for so long and trying to find and navigate a path forward. I am, very in support of not having houses like that. I agree with, not having monster houses. I have to fully understand a little bit more about the pathway that would prevent a house like that Princeville 36-unit house from going in. Like, I support, in theory, the whole idea of what you're going for. I just kind of think I need to dive into the differences between the use permit and not use permit with or without this bill kind of thing to understand what would stop that. I think there's a couple of issues here. There's like the size of the house, which isn't limited here. This is use. But I appreciate it. I mean, there was never a hearing across the street or in our neighborhood that I know of when that home transitioned to working workforce housing across the street from us. And so it makes sense, and I really appreciate, I'll be supporting today and trying to just better understand the process and following it through the planning commission side of things to understand a little bit more. And I'm learning a lot about the use stuff in general, but just trying to understand what would be the mechanisms by which it would prevent those kind of structures from being built in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? If not, the motion.
No, he has.
I'm sorry? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to again echo also the introduction of this bill and its intent. At first and still, I'm a little confused on the execution, and also a little concerned that planning wouldn't be in support or is not here. I mean, I totally understand that this is first reading, and the process of this work is to go through the community and go through all the necessary process to flesh out the best legislative piece to help our community, and really respect the time that you spent into it. But it's very complex. The way that the bill is designed and what it's trying to accomplish requires a lot of input and a lot of pieces to work, because there's just so many different angles that you're going towards. So I'm really looking forward to, I'm hesitant, but I understand that this, if passed first reading, will go to Planning Commission, so there's those eyes that will look at it, and if it does get out of there and come back to us, we'll have more sets of eyes to look at it. And yeah, it's first reading, so I understand the work that needs to be done to make this a good and healthy bill that will help our community.
Thank you. Councilmember Carson.
I want to thank you all for having an open mind to considering a bill that is hasn't had the support of the planning department in its development. Usually we have a much more robust bill. It's pretty open, it's just 2973 is just definition of family, and then this next bill 2979 is just creating another opportunity. We really don't know at all yet if it would replace the problems that are happening. It just hopefully is creating it, and so we can put some guardrails back on. So this is, I'm hoping that this makes a difference, and it's intentionally loose enough that it's not going to hurt any projects that are underway or that are trying to do, because we need workforce and we need housing. But so I thank you, because if we do nothing, I really feel very confident that we're going to have almost only, a big portion of the workers who work here are going to be people that are living in housing owned by their employer. And that's a loss of freedom and a loss of, identity of the community. So I appreciated it going before the Planning Commission, and I have a lot of respect for our planning department. I haven't gotten the help in 10 months of asking, but I think putting it in front of planning, it will force that. So I'm hoping for that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Coley?
Yeah, I want to thank you for your work also, and then I understand and support the intention of the prior bill and this bill. I see this current bill as a first attempt, pretty rough draft, and I wouldn't be able to support it as is, but I of course support it going to planning so that they can work on it. And it makes sense that it needs work because planning hasn't participated. I think it's always important to try our best to get their participation. I think between now and whenever we hear back from them, I would follow up on my own to try and learn a little bit more about what's going on with all these different terminologies and why they can misuse what's the original intention of some of these terms are, specifically like what a family is, and single family home, single residential unit, single family residence, and then now this other term, single housekeeping unit. And yeah, so how those differentiate from each other and how they're being used in different circumstances. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I just want to follow up.
Go ahead.
Those words, just for the public listening and for the planning department, I believe they've seen this presentation, is just for making the presentation and trying to not have too many words. Those confusing words aren't in the bill.
All right, anything
I'd
else?
imagine they exist in the county somewhere, because that's where it all started, right? You had to redefine family, because family
Yeah.
is used in the term single-family residence, so.
Okay, that's fair, but the bill, it doesn't have them, that doesn't have all those different ones.
Most planning bills are complicated. Most zoning bills are very complicated. But I think, I read the bill, and it's pretty straightforward. And I think it is exactly what we talk about. In fact, I can't remember the bill that we had on the floor, and I made the comment, let's not go treat the symptoms, let's go fix the bill and make. I don't know how that thing in principle got passed to begin with. Till today, I struggle with how that got passed. I don't know. I gotta believe that there were some variances or some exemptions. I don't know how that could happen, but it did. So rather than, treat the symptoms, let's go find the problem, and the problem is these people are buying or renting up units in our inventory, preventing our local families from getting homes, which then leads them to leaving because they cannot, there's no place, or being homeless or houseless. So again, I'm anxious to see the Planning Commission and how they take this apart, but I mean, for me, it's creating a dormitory class. That's what we're doing. We're adding a class, and if you fall into that definition, this is the only question I have, and I'll see where planning goes, is how are we going to make sure that you can get around this new bill and utilizing existing allowances, and then they can still get away. The question or the fact needs to be that if you are operating a residence that is a dormitory for your employees, then you need to follow this. And you need to have a use permit, because I think that is the most critical part. The fact that you can just roll into somebody's neighborhood and bring, 30 employees that starts to be your new neighbors that are out early and in late. No, the people should have a say in that. And this will provide an opportunity for these employers to go out and, hey, go buy a piece of land, go build up some dormitories and call it what it is. And don't pretend that it's a long-term rental or a apartment when it's you fly people in and out on a weekly basis. So I support it 100%. I'm curious to hear why planning doesn't. There may be some things in there that conflict with existing ordinances that I'm not aware of, but at this point I'm definitely in support and looking forward to their report and recommendation. So with that, the motion is to refer to the Planning Commission. Roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Councilmember Kuali'i?
Aye.
Council Chair Opozo?
Aye.
7 ayes.
There is no further business on the agenda, but this is our last meeting before the holidays for the year. But there's also there's also something else special. I'm going to use a moment of personal privilege to ask Eddie Topino to come up, if Eddie is here.
He's here.
And he's like,
Yes,
I'm not
Eddie.
here.
Eddie Topino, Eduardo Eddie Topino.
Members!
Eddie is,
Members?
yeah.
Oh.
I think a lot of people don't know this. I just found out. And our staff was able to, in less than 4 hours, able to put this certificate together. And Eddie
I didn't do nothing. Don't point at me.
Eddie has been with this
Listen.
county for a very long time, and he is going to be retiring at the end of the year.
Oh,
Yeah,
we didn't know.
yeah. I just found out. And so it was a secret. See, I was wondering, you were gone for a while. I thought, what's going on?
Sample.
But after many, I'm going to read this. After many years of excellent customer service work as a banquet manager in the hotel industry, the county was able to secure Eddie's services as the deputy county clerk in May of 2010. After serving in that capacity, he remained as an asset to the office of as administrative assistant to the county clerk, handling everything from swearing in countless incoming county personnel to being essential in logistics for over a decade of inaugurations, conferences, elections, and other crucial special events. Beyond his employment, Eddie has engaged in extensive community service with Kauai Hospice, Rotary Club of Kapa'a, the Filipino Chamber of Commerce, and many other organizations. Eddie and his wife Sonia have also proven instrumental to the creation and success of the Kauai Philippine Cultural Center, serving as board members and working tirelessly to provide that wonderful resource that has now become a fixture of the community. There is nothing Eddie cannot accomplish with his cell phone and a jug of homemade chili pepper water or a pot of pinakbet. His calm demeanor, frequent smile, and can-do attitude will be sorely missed by council members and his colleagues. Mahalo and best wishes, Eddie, as you and Sonia continue experiencing global adventures abroad and serving the community here at home. We wish you all the best. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thanks, Council Chair. It's been a long ride, but it's a good ride indeed. So appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to work here and also serve the community, especially the people of Kauai. And I'll continue to do that. We'll be working with the Kauai Philippine Culture Center, which is a benefit for the community. And we ask, it's been used a lot already. So thank you. But I'll miss our workers, co-workers, and all the past council members that has come through. Had a pleasure working with all of them. So for those of you who's running for office, good luck. And there'll be 4 opening probably next year for council members. So, but overall, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and we'll be in the community somehow, and appreciate everything that has given me, afforded me here. So, and thank you. I'll miss all the co-workers and council members as well.
Well, thank you, Eddie. Any comments for Eddie? Ms. Holland?
Yeah, I don't want you to go yet. I just started. We have so much more to do. No, thank you so much. You've been such a pleasure to work with this year, and all the years of service. And I look forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks, Eddie.
I don't know, you're bringing up the 4 openings in council. Are you thinking of running for council in your retirement? Thinking about it now. I just want to say it's been an honor and privilege to serve with you, Eddie. I wish you and Sonia the best, in your retirement. I know it'll be filled with a lot of travel, visiting your kids, and hopefully you still remember me when you're making chili pepper water and chili oil stuff. I also miss your Portuguese bean soup. So, but yeah, I wish you the best and well-deserved retirement.
Thank you.
Yeah, Eddie, thank you so much, Mahalo, for all the work that you've done and working closely in the Filipino Culture Center, of course, right? But just you and Sonia and just your ability to reach out and connect and make things happen and move forward for a long time. But thank you so much for your hard work and blessings, man.
Keep going. We just go right around.
Yeah, mahalo nui loa, Eddie, for your service to our council services, to our county, and to our community. Wishing you all the very best in everything you choose to do going forward. And happy traveling and happy grandparenting with Sonia. All the best.
Thank you.
Ever since moving back home back in 2014, you've been an amazing mentor and friend, and your family and all your friends have supported me throughout all the things that I've done in my life, and I owe very long debted gratitude of thanks and just support for all the things that you care about. It's been a wonderful ride being back home because there's people like you who spend the necessary time to do the extra around all the things that you've got to do already to make sure that our community is healthy, safe, and happy, especially when we think about supporting the Filipino culture and people of Filipino descent. You have been such an amazing person to look up to. I would not be in this seat if it wasn't for you and your family and the support of everyone. I would not be able to do this work. And so I hope that you know that I'm very very grateful, and my family is very grateful, and for all the people that you affect, especially we get the opportunity to bring kids here, and they get the great story and the information and the welcoming by you. And so I hereby declare that you are indebted to come back and continue to do these tours. Somehow, can we just make him an ambassador of storytelling? Because it really, truly does make a huge impact every single time you share the stories of this place and of our people. It leaves a very impression, and I'm just saddened that my son didn't get to take the tour with you. I just realized I didn't have him tour with you, so we're just gonna have to bring you back. But as everyone knows, retired means you get to now work for free, and so we're excited to enroll you in more volunteer work throughout the community. You already do too much, and actually I just hope you somehow disappear and enjoy everything that you can with your family and your friends. And if there's service in there, please let me know however I can support you and your goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Kaua.
Okay, well, I'm going to second all that they said, and I want to say, you do even so much more. I mean, there's so much, it's hard to name them all, but I'm going to name some. You also are deep in assisting with the elections and going out and picking up the ballots and helping all the way through on that side too. You offer analytic help to us council members on policy development and recognition. You're also been our first responder in managing our physical building problems when the pipes burst or the door breaks or we need to pull the flags down while it's raining really hard, or all kinds of trouble. The air conditioner's not working right, needing to move elements around the building, furniture. You're the one that seems to be able to do that. I also want to say, from having been a very dedicated member of the public, like we have Nelson Mukai and Lonnie Psychos in here, I spent probably 5 years prior to being in office as another very dedicated member of the public, as well as several decades when I'd come in for a special issue. He was very respectful and helpful to us, always making us feel welcome and wanted, and never like a burden. So I appreciate you for all of that. And you do those things on any given day, and then I go somewhere, and I'm telling, I'm too cold in the building, or you're serving the dinner and you've made some of the food. So whenever I feel like, my day is long, your day is longer. You are probably a 14-hour-a-day kind of guy. So you'll probably be just as busy once you're retired, but know that you're loved and welcome here, and I look forward to continuing seeing you probably mostly at the Philippine Cultural Center, and but at all the events. I see you at so many events, and so thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
Well, Eddie, what a run, man. What a run. You've been here a long time and been through several, the good, the bad, the ugly, I guess I should say, and the happiness and the sadness. We lost some good people over the years, and you've been here, like I said, for so long. I just want to say thank you for all that you've done, and all that you've done, not just here, but in the community. And just wish you guys the best, and don't be a stranger.
No.
Yeah, you can still have to come fix the pipes, and because I don't think any of us can do that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, thank you for your service, and God bless you in your future, and go enjoy yourself now.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the center.
Yeah.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I know you cannot go anywhere because you work here still. But before we do the picture, I just want to give everybody an opportunity to say your holiday wishes to your constituents, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So,
And I also wanted just a moment of privilege, I wanted to recognize the loss of our Hawaii County Fire Chief, Kazu Todd, who's been so wonderful, died very young at 45 years old. He's done an amazing job over there, and he has helped our fire department, and he was a fire in the fire team for the state. He was the head of that. He's done so much. So just want to recognize that. So,
thank you.
yes. And then I want to say to everybody, hey, have a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, all your holidays. May they be bright. Happy New Year. Everybody be safe and enjoy your time with your family. And I so appreciate you all, and I'm always available.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Stay safe, drive safe, eat too much, drink not as much, enjoy time with your family and friends, and if you have the opportunity and you have the ability, help a friend out or help someone out. These are interesting times that we're in, and so it's always much better when we're all together. So, happy holidays.
Mele Kaliki Maka, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a great new year, a prosperous new year. I wish you good food, treasured time with family and loved ones, and just lots of fun. Enjoy some stress-free downtime, hopefully.
So, Kaua?
No, just mele kaliki maka, haole makahiki ho. Thank you so much for all the blessings and just sending all the love and aloha to all the families in the community and everybody for all that you do, and just want to bless everybody. I mean, this is a time that we got to stay strong as an island and work together and keep our island safe and moving in the right direction, but more importantly, take care of your families at home, everything in the home, outside the home, and then we walk together in unity, lokahi. So blessings and aloha.
I'll keep it short. Just want to wish everybody a safe and happy holidays.
That was short.
I'll also keep it short. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the holidays. Remember to hug your loved ones and appreciate the little things and the quality time, regardless of what kind of holiday you celebrate. Make it about family and make it about friends, and yeah, enjoy. Aloha.
And I forgot to say, honoring our staff, our amazing staff. I'm looking at all of you guys. Thank you.
They're all here.
I think they're all here to testify.
They don't ever come in to watch us, but Eddie, you leave me, man. They all lined up. Just they're so happy. No, just kidding. I want to say, of course, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But it's been a rough year, and it just doesn't seem like it gets any better. You watch what's happening in our world, but we got to remember, to provide the aloha. We got to be, tomorrow's never promised. We know that. And, this year at the Christmas dinner table, we're going to get some empty seats. And they didn't know that last year, last year's Christmas, They just assumed everybody going to be there in the following year. So, let's use this holiday season as a reason just to be nice and to love each other, because you don't know what's going to be next year. And we've just lost too many good people, as Councilmember Cowden just said, 45 years old. Lord have mercy. Good guy. He was a funny guy, too. I loved listening to him speak. No one expected him to be missing this Christmas. So, hug your loved ones, be blessed, be safe, especially be safe, and